I got to ask you real quick about your injury footage, which we finally saw. My question was, why didn't we see? You told me it was like a murder scene. I was looking for the blood. I got to tell you, where was the footage of the blood? I'm like, pull out an iPhone, someone. I know that sounds horrifying of me.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, actually.
I am here with the man himself, Pilot Pete. Peter, I have so many questions, so we're going to dive right in.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Let's do it. Let's dive. Okay. First one right off the top, big one. I know you've talked about this a little bit, but you and Victoria F. So she wins the group date, you get the Cosmo cover, and then these modeling photos come out. What was your reaction when you saw those alleged photos of her posing for a campaign that used the phrase "White Lives Matter"?
Yeah, that was that was unfortunate. I'm learning about all this in real time, just like everyone else is. I had no idea about any of her involvement with any campaign like that during our time together dating, and I think it's unfortunate. A lot of the headlines have kind of been taken out of context with minus like my support about what she was doing, and I would encourage anyone to go actually read the full article because I in no way support that type of campaign. And I do also feel like though it wouldn't be appropriate for me right now to necessarily speak too much on that without giving her a chance to address the public and make an actual statement.
Well, look, this is somebody you knew. I mean, you dated, as we've seen. So how has your opinion of her changed in light of some of what's come out?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. And the Victoria that I got to know on the show, I never would have ever expected anything like this to come out with her. Again, I don't know if she was fully aware of what she was doing when she was, I guess, modeling for that campaign. I've heard some, possible theories that she actually didn't know that there was a confusion with, it was like a fish company or something.
It is, but they still use the phrase "White Lives Matter."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's no defending that. There's no defending that. And it's unfortunate again that she partook in that type of campaign. And I think if she could do it over again, she would. But I in no way support that, obviously. And I hope she has a chance to address the public and make things right.
I gotta ask you, Peter, there's been a lot of reaction about your group of women overall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What a shocker.
I don't know if you've read the tweets, but look, a lot of the fan viewer reaction is that this is maybe the cattiest, most dramatic group of women ever on the show.
Yeah.
What's your response to that?
I would probably agree at this point. There is so much that I didn't know obviously was going on. When I wasn't there, when they were just in the house by themselves, when I'd cancel cocktail parties and they'd have that full-on, like that last confrontation with Tammy and Sydney, like that's a little too much, and I didn't like to see that. I really didn't.
If you said that way one more time, I'm gonna lose my on you.
Has your opinion changed of anyone watching all this back? If so, who?
I truly did not. Yeah, I guess I'm understanding a little bit more of why some of the women acted the way they did. When I was, right before I was starting to hand out roses in Costa Rica, and then Tammy came and McKenna came to speak with me, I had no idea truly why they were so eager and felt like it was so necessary for them to talk with me. And watching that back now, I understand like that confrontation with them and Kelsey. That was insane, and that was a little too much for me. That wasn't cool to watch. And
would you maybe have done some things differently? And what, if anything? Like sent some people home at different times, or? I
mean, looking back on it now, but hindsight's 20/20. Like in that moment, I only have the information that I know.
Right.
And that's the only stuff I'm going off of, and I'm making the best. I'm not trying to make poor decisions.
Yeah.
I'm really not.
The tell-all's coming up. Who are you most interested to ask a couple questions to?
Oh boy, that's gonna be interesting.
Okay.
Honestly, probably Sydney. She never came off to me the way that I was kind of seeing how she acted with some of the women, when I wasn't there. Just a little bit curious about that, and I guess she was kind of hiding a personality that I didn't necessarily know very well, just to be completely honest.
I ate my lunch, like literally in the bathroom stall my whole senior year.
What do you think of people allegedly who went to high school with her sharing these yearbook photos saying she was a popular girl, not the victim of bullying that she claimed? She's defended her story, but what do you think of all that?
I don't necessarily think that she was lying, like about her not going to some of the high school dances. I believed her on that. I guess some of the pictures came out were about her just in a beauty pageant and whatnot. So, listen, I feel like so many of us now have been under attack, with this show, and I don't necessarily understand why. It seems like in recent seasons, like there's been so much hate kind of coming on. and that kind of saddens me. Like, I feel like that's not what this is about. This is truly about trying to hopefully have an amazing love story, and it's like being just overcome and overwhelmed right now with all this insane drama and all this hate, and it's just, it sucks, but it is what it is.
Are you a little down about it?
It's tough watching it. I'm not gonna lie, it is. There's a lot of stuff again that I didn't know, and I knew that as I was filming that I only had my interactions with each of the women. That's all that I could go off of, but it's tough.
My read on you right now is you honestly, under the surface, Peter, you're a really good guy. You seem a little frustrated. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like you want to kind of confront these women a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there were, I'm not gonna say I was like deceived at all, but like it's just, it's
But
tough.
do you feel a little deceived?
A little bit, and
Yeah.
just I don't know. I get that people can be dramatic, people can kind of be catty sometimes, but I didn't know it was necessarily to that extent.
Well, you've been criticized as being rewarding of drama, indecisive.
And that was never my. I understand being indecisive because dating 30 women is not easy, and that will never be easy, and no one's prepared for that. So I totally give myself self-grace for being indecisive in a moment that's so confusing and so tough, and it's kind of rushed. You know, you have deadlines, you have to let go of people, and that I'm okay with.
By the way, a photo has surfaced of Sydney and Hannah next to each other in high school. What did you know about their past?
I didn't know. I knew that they were both from Alabama. I had no idea that they went to the same high school.
Literally standing next to each other in a yearbook photo.
That's crazy to me.
Have you talked to Hannah about it?
I haven't, no. But
So you did not know?
I didn't know, but I realized like I had obviously had a thing for like Alabama girls, and yeah.
Here we are.
Here we are.
One woman who's caused no problems, Madison.
Yeah.
How are your feelings for her at this point? She's the one person who hasn't fought with anyone else in the house or with you. So I'm thinking, pick that one.
I mean, I will say this: there is obviously a lot of drama going on and a lot of cattiness, but I was someone that I always was looking towards the end goal, and I knew what I wanted. And just because the nature of this whole process, you have to keep so many people around, right? And I never got too down and too discouraged because I knew that I was going to be okay in the end. So.
Well, you told me before that you were happy with how things ended. But
Yeah.
look, we had just on Hannah's season that you were on, a lot changed after filming ended. So
Right.
Are you still happy with how things ended?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I can say I followed my heart the entire time. This was the hardest experience of my entire life. I'm still so grateful for it, and I really would do it again. I promise you I would. I know right now it's like a lot of stuff going on,
a lot.
but I totally would, and I can say I'm happy and I followed my heart.
Are we going to see a situation like a Hannah or an Ari where things change after the final moment? That big final moment looks huge.
Right, yeah. I definitely think the ending of mine is very unique. So I'm not saying it's gonna be similar to any of the previous seasons, but definitely
Is it really
very
over?
unique.
I don't try. Here's the thing, Peter. All my love, there's a lot of flip-flopping that's happened. I never know who your front runner is. You change every week. So I'm sitting here thinking, we've seen things end differently on the show before. Could it happen?
I promise you, my front runner did not stop changing after about week 4. And whether how that's shown, the show does a really good job of, because it's very entertaining. But I promise you, my front runner did not change, and leave it at that.
Interesting. Okay. I got to ask you real quick about your injury footage, which we finally saw. My question was, why didn't we see? You told me it was like a murder scene. I was looking for the blood. I got to tell
I
you,
know.
where was the footage of the blood? I'm like, pull out an iPhone, someone. I know that sounds horrifying of me.
That's kind of weird, actually. That's gruesome. But no, it truly was. The only footage we had was that grainy hotel footage. That's
Yeah.
literally, the cameras, we weren't rolling at all. We had just finished doing some
Okay.
B-roll. So I was kind of happy they even showed that part.
I thought cameras would come to the hospital.
Yeah, well, no, we had to drive like 2.5 hours. Like we were in the middle of the jungle.
And you're holding your head.
I had like, it was
gashed?
like I was like a World War II victim. Yeah, it was
Oh my
bad.
God.
But-
That's a little scary. Okay, real quick, you got Chase Rice's phone number. Did you ever text him or call him about all this Victoria stuff?
No, I didn't. And that was obviously very weird and uncomfortable, but I feel like
amazing.
the biggest dummy talking to him and like watching me like play back or watching that
You're
playback.
like, sing at our wedding.
I know, that was so cringy. That was so cringy.
It was pretty great though.